Welcome to the show, Mr. Sunil. Can you tell us something about Nautanki, how it started?
Nautanki, the real story is that it was four television and advertising professionals who wanted to make a movie. So we collected money, put in our personal resources, and said that, hey, now we will make a movie with it. And then the next thought was, if we'll be able to make a movie, but who will buy it? Because no theater is going to showcase it or release it. And that's when we realized that there may be other people like us who do not have a platform for their own short films and content and all. And then we started doing researching and how to go for doing it, and discovered that we can actually have a television channel on the online space, and that is how Nautanki.tv was born.
Okay.
And that's basically it is a bunch of content guys who wanted their content out into public view, and this was a great medium for anyone to get started.
So you mean to say that somebody who's doing a short film can actually place their movie on Nautanki?
Yeah, anyone who's got a short film can make that film available on the Nautanki platform. There's a process that is followed because the revenue that is generated is advertiser driven. I mean, we play 30-second TVCs before and after any piece of content. So if a brand needs to come on to Nautanki's feeds and advertise there, they need to know what the quality of the content is. So we cannot do user-generated content. There has to be certain basic guidelines that need to be followed. But if you have produced a content, a piece of short film, and if the idea is great and if there is value in what you're doing, what we do is as the next step is that we provide you with the infrastructure. We provide you with studio floors, with makeup men, with lights, camera, edit suits, all of that. And you can use that and recreate whatever it is that you wanted, or the next big film that you wanted. And that can go on to Nautanki because it's a well-produced content. We take care that the content that's produced, the film that's made, is made for the internet.
Okay.
Okay, which is slightly different from what you would do if you were doing for television or the big screen. So that's basic difference which is there. It's not like other video sharing sites which just upload and it's live. Here you upload, you wait for an approval. That approval will be dependent upon the quality of the content, a lot of other things, and then it goes live. And unlike other video sharing sites, here you actually make real money.
Okay.
Okay, because there is a share of revenue agreement that's there, where you get a percentage of the advertising revenue that we generate, and we're pretty transparent about it.
Talking about, you recently said that there is a certain difference in the kind of content that goes into Nautanki.tv. Let's say if I do let's say I produce my own serial like Kyonki Saas Bhi Kabhi Bahu Thi, which is actually geared for a mass medium.
Mm-hmm.
It's a certain formula-based programming. Now, the kind of programs that translate to the internet audience, how different is it?
Okay, Kyonki Saas Bhi Kabhi Bahu Thi will not work on the internet. People on the internet do not have that long patience to wait for a 7-minute long segment. Your content will have to be in the short format, which means you do not need panoramic views. Right now, when you're shooting me on a mobile phone, you are in a semi-close-up mode. Now, that is the way you need to. Your screenplay needs to suit for a 320 by 240 window.
Okay.
Okay, which means it's more tighter shots. You cannot have very jerky motion. You cannot have too many colors.
So it's basically the quick and dirty thing that.
It's not quick and dirty. There's an art to
making it.
To making it. Quick and dirty will mean it's grungy.
Okay.
It's not well produced. Your lights, if you're making, see, the noir style of filmmaking will have a different approach. The classical filmmaking style will have a different approach. There is an opportunity here of creating your own style of internet filmmaking.
Okay.
Okay, so that's really, it's your style. Just remember that the guy is watching it on a 320 by 240 window, and his attention span is about 3.5 to 4 minutes. Beyond that, he's disinterested. So it's like let me explain this in perspective of a cookery show. In a cookery show, the actual cooking happens for about 3 minutes. The rest is the build up to the cooking, and you talk about the ingredients and all that. Now, what is more important? You want the glitz and glamour around it. People on the internet do not want that. If they want that, they want television. People on the internet want to be very specific. They want to know how to make a particular dish. As long as you tell them what the basics are of making a dish in an entertaining format, you have a good job. You have done your job, right? And that's roughly what the basic guidelines are.
Uh, Based on what you said in the previous answer, I come from an internet background where I've generally seen that whatever content that you're promoting is actually guided by what kind of advertisers advertise with us. Did you face any kind of a situation where you have these kind of advertisers, so you need these kind of content? Is it, I mean, does it work both ways, or does it? I mean, is it guided from the advertiser's point of view?
Okay, it works both ways. There are certain times when you need to take the risk and come out with content which is different. In that case, we go with the long tail of the advertisers, where it's volumes that generally decide what's being done. On the other side, advertiser-driven content is not yet happening on the internet. I mean, television is largely driven by what the advertisers want to see, but there is also niche programming where it is the audience which decides what kind of thing, and there are advertisers for that. What's different with what's different with our model is pretty simple. Notaki.tv is not destination television. You don't come to Notaki.tv, the portal or the URL, and watch the content there. You can watch it wherever your interest lies.
Okay.
Okay, which means there is a publisher module. If you're a blog, a website, or any of that, you can register as a publisher. The link is at the bottom of the homepage of Notaki.tv, and you can subscribe to a feed of a channel section within Notaki. Now, you decide what your content is on your website is. Okay, you decide what kind of video goes along with that content. Okay, so your audience is niche already because they come to read your content, and at that point, if they want to see the video, you get paid for it.
Okay.
So it's the niche aspect of it is already making itself felt.
The revenue sharing generally works with the advertiser. I mean, with yourself as the promoters, as well as people who are creating the video. What about people seeing the video? Do they have any incentive for that?
Currently, there is no incentive for people who are seeing the video, because there's no way of knowing who's seeing the video unless they register, and it's free to view. They're not encouraging any registration. The revenue is actually split three ways. There's the money that is paid to the publishers, the web-based website owners. There's content providers who get paid, and then there is Notaki, which needs to make money. It's a business. The purpose of business is to make money. So we do retain a portion of it. Now, eventually, as we go along, we are trying to bring entertainment to every desktop, which means if you are, the logic is this, that let's say 4% of, let's say 4-5% of the people on the net actually own any white space. So it's a web page or a blog, any of those. But they come onto the internet, they chat, they email, and so on and so forth. Those people are also people whom we want to be able to give entertainment over the internet. So there is an effort that is being made. The research is, I think by the end of September we'll be ready with that support available. At that point in time, we can have loyalty programs. We can have a whole lot of these things that can be done with the viewer itself.
I'll end part one of the interview here. I have a couple of more questions that happen in part two, which I'll just break in